Well, all right. This normally isn't the type of thing I do. However, you never know what you're going to see on my channel. And we're here in the Hyundai booth, as you can see. It's a very nice booth, and obviously everybody knows that Dirt Perfect has some things to do with Hyundai. I don't personally, but I have been intrigued by these hydrogen machines. And we're going to kind of delve off into the reason that I've been intrigued by them. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Let's go see if we can find the expert. So this is the machine that I am intrigued by. This is powered by hydrogen. It's a fuel cell H2. And I have been told that this gentleman right here is the expert. Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing great, Matt. How about
I
yourself?
hear you can walk us through the details of this machine, and I am going to be the guy that asks some really goofy questions because of how my mind works.
Sure.
You good with this?
I'm good with this. Yeah.
So
Let's give it a try.
My first question is, why hydrogen?
So hydrogen as a fueling solution is a very clean and, as far as the future is concerned, a very sustainable path forward for us. So, as I said, it's very clean.
Right?
In the process of generating electricity, that's what the hydrogen fuel cell does, using hydrogen on board and oxygen in the atmosphere. It creates electricity, and the byproduct of that is water.
So what comes out of the tailpipe is water.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Can you drink it? See how my mind works?
You know what?
You want me to try, don't you?
Hey,
if
anyone's gonna do it, I have a suspicion it might be you.
Right? Now, be mindful. This machine is a prototype machine. This is the only one, correct? We're not allowed to open any panels because there is some proprietary things on the inside that Hyundai does not want the competition to see. He won't even open them for me. But that's okay. So let's walk around a little bit. This is obviously a wheeled excavator.
Yes, sir.
Right?
So this is its model name is the H2 Hyundai wheeled excavator.
Okay.
155H, H for hydrogen.
Okay.
So
155H.
So it's a 14-ton, despite the 155 nomenclature, it's a 14-ton wheeled excavator. That is correct.
So this is going to be an excavator that you see a lot on the road. Yes. Because it's a wheeled excavator.
Yep.
And I'm sure these people are going, we know that already.
Sure. Which
is fine, but we got to get through some details here so I can ask the intriguing questions, right?
Absolutely.
So you're going to see this thing on the side of the highway, not producing greenhouse gases.
Correct. H2O.
Clean energy H2O, water producing machine.
No CO2.
Out the tailpipe. No CO2. All right. However, the first thing that came to this guy's mind when I heard the word hydrogen, what do you think came to my mind? And I'm not afraid to ask this question.
I know that what comes to most people's minds.
And what would that be in your mind?
See, I go Hindenburg, personally.
Exactly. Big plume cloud, fires, smoke, and trees being blown over by just some really nasty stuff, right? So how does Hyundai not consider this a bomb?
Great question. And yes, this is the first time I've been asked at this trade show.
Yes!
This question, which is ironic because I somewhat thought that it might come up. But,
well, it did today, sir.
And thankfully, because I was curious, I've got a curious mind.
Me
somewhat
too.
Like yourself.
Yep.
I just did some of my own research, but I also had an opportunity to talk to the engineer responsible for this machine.
So we have technical data here.
Correct. So the hydrogen that's used in the electrical generation process in this machine, it's stored in the tanks on board this machine. So the molecular structure of that hydrogen is different than the hydrogen that would be used in the Hindenburg or or in that other nasty gizmo that we were talking about earlier.
So also, right, the molecular structure is different, but in the Hindenburg example, it had a different trigger.
Yes.
Right? A different bomb, which triggered it. So that's why when I see this as a wheeled excavator, I go, wait a minute, it's going to be working under power lines. And let's just assume we're out there digging a ditch, creating sidewalks, whatever it may be. And right above our heads is a transformer. It could turn into a trigger, right? Transformers have a tendency to explode.
I've seen it happen.
But what you're saying is, due to its molecular structure being different than a true hydrogen bomb, that transformer, potential explosion, hypothetically, but realistically, would not be a trigger because of its molecular structure.
Correct. That is correct.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I believe him because I know Hyundai, and they're not gonna, they don't make bombs.
That's correct.
Correct. And honestly, you can have diesel engines run away.
Sure.
Right? They have high-speed come-aparts. Propane is in a condensed form in a tank.
Maybe everyone has a propane cylinder at their house, powering their barbecue.
Everybody has a bomb at their house. That's realistically what those storage tanks can turn into.
Sure.
But it sounds to me like Hyundai has done all of the proper research to utilize hydrogen in a form that should mitigate the explosive nature that most people may connect hydrogen to.
You got it.
Would you agree with that?
Nailed it.
All right. So now let's do a little walk around and give us some key features. You've talked why hydrogen, right?
Sure.
No greenhouse gases. It produces water.
Yes, sir.
So what else about this machine is what sets it apart?
So, as I said, we use hydrogen to generate electricity. So that's where the fuel cell comes in. You could think of this as an electric excavator, really at the core of it.
Okay.
So it's got all the same hydraulic components that a standard wheeled excavator would have, but instead of hooking a diesel engine up to the pumps, we're hooking an electric motor up to the pumps.
Okay. So you don't lose any hydraulic pressure / power because it's just a pump that's being driven.
That's right, and you know, peak output on this electric motor is about 150 horsepower.
Okay.
And as we know, the true benefit of electrical motors is instant torque. So you know, recovery from a load is going to be almost instantaneous.
I like how you prefaced the fact that it's almost. That's a good key word you use there.
Sure. Well, hey, I like to deal in truths, so.
As do we.
Yes, sir. So we use a hydrogen fuel cell to generate electricity as opposed to having large batteries as a storage of energy.
Okay.
So the hydrogen tanks on board, there's 5 of them.
Okay.
For what it's worth, they hold 20 kilos of hydrogen. And at 700 bar, which is a little over 10,000 psi.
Okay.
That is fed into that fuel cell with oxygen from the atmosphere. That generates electricity that then is fed to the motor that drives the machine.
So I want to make sure everyone, I'm going to dumb that down a little bit.
Perfect.
Instead of using batteries which store energy, you're using hydrogen to create energy.
You got it.
I learned something today.
And isn't that cool?
I never would have imagined that the hydrogen was used to produce electricity. I would have assumed the hydrogen ran an engine like you see diesel or propane runs an engine.
Sure. And that is a use case for some forms of hydrogen and other applications, but for us, the fuel cell and hydrogen are the way forward.
So maybe the molecular structure to run an engine through combustion would have to be the other type.
Could be.
Right? Who knows? He's not allowed to tell us that, because that might be some of the secret, right? So any other key features about the, can I open the cab, show them inside? Oh, we might be locked. Let's see. because this is prototype, it's locked. We can sneak through the window though.
Sure you can.
I mean, you guys can see in here, it is, well, you sort of can. There we go, I gotta block the, it's no different than any other wheeled excavator. You've got the same features. The cab, I'm sure, is mass produced, just like the other wheel loaders are
just
mass
like
produced.
you'd see on the HW 140A over
Correct,
there.
which
But
is
it's
over
sided
there.
and floppy.
Over there, that is the same machine, if you will, just
Very
not
similar
ran
motor.
by hydrogen, which produces electricity to run all the pumps.
Got it.
So any other extracurriculars that you would want to point out to a customer to say, here's why, other than,
Yeah.
right, the emissions?
Yes. So with the amount of hydrogen we're storing on board, 8 hours of runtime.
8 hours.
Yeah, and that's continuous. So we have, so I should say 8 hours of electrical generating time
Okay.
with that much hydrogen we have. And then the turnaround time when those tanks are empty,
Yep.
okay, the refuel is 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the filling station.
So it's very similar to putting in a pump and pumping diesel fuel. That's not how you fill the tanks. However,
Right.
the timing to that.
That's right.
Whereas, all right, one of the things that I'm over here going, electric, it sounds really nice, but you get, at best, 6 hour runtime.
Right.
And that might not be at full steam ahead for 6 hours.
That is correct.
Okay? And then, in some cases, which I find so, I'm gonna use the word intriguing, they pull a diesel-powered generator to the job site and they plug the machine in.
We've all seen it.
So where's the benefit, right? However, as long as you can find the proper molecular structure of hydrogen from your local hydrogen provider, you can run it for 8 hours straight with its capacity, and you can fill it up just in the same amount of time as you're filling a diesel tank up on a diesel engine. So to me, I'm gonna buy this before I'm gonna buy straight electric.
Yeah. As far as scalability is
I mean,
concerned,
you know, put it in the comments. What do you guys think? Hearing this, right, versus what all the data you can find on electric, to me, this is more closely related to what a contractor is used to doing. And I'm not the guy who says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm the guy who says, if it ain't broke, break it so you can make it better, right? So you break out of the emission-producing diesels, which everybody knows emissions on diesels cause problems, more maintenance nightmares, right?
absolutely.
So this, to me, is a solution that allows you to simulate what everybody's used to without pulling a generator to come charge it, which, mind you, by the way, sometimes you can't charge it long enough to be able to work the next day. Because the way batteries work, you got fast chargers, you got somewhat fast chargers, and you have a slow charge, a trickle charge, if you will. They all recommend the trickle charge. But if you trickle charge that type of battery with that type of capacity, you're talking days.
Exactly.
Not hours, not minutes. You just said minutes.
Minutes.
12 to 15 minutes.
10 to 20.
10 to 20.
Something in that neighborhood.
Worst case scenario, let's call it 20. It's not days, it's not hours.
Exactly.
And you also stated you can run it full steam ahead for 8 hours with the hydrogen capacity. I know I'm being redundant here, people, but I am highly intrigued.
It's very exciting.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Because every time I talk to anybody, every time electric comes up, everybody's like, how long will it run? How long does it take to charge?
Exactly.
Where's the charging station?
Range anxiety.
You got it. So now you've got that negative in your mind about a positive thing. I feel like this machine has the potential to take the negativity out and plug in some normal positivity.
Exactly.
Man, let's open the hatch. He won't do it. I'm just kidding. I'm picking on you. But I do want to give him a full view of the machine.
You bet.
So you can kind of see the size comparison.
Yeah. 10, 15 years. Yeah.
I tell you, I'm not just saying those things because I'm with a Hyundai representative. Chris has done a great job. I seriously believe that this has potential. All right, Chris, we have something else to talk about. This is the other reason why I walked up here. Let's talk about this.
Sure. I will try my best.
All right.
So
This isn't his forte, however, he's going to give us his best shot.
So there's been sharing and transfer of technology between Hyundai Motors, Hyundai Mobis, and Hyundai Construction Equipment. So
Okay.
in the development and production of this prototype machine, there's been a lot of shared resources to make it all happen. Okay, so Hyundai Mobis is the fuel cell power generation port, one of the many companies that exist under the Hyundai umbrella.
Okay.
So, like I said, this is a portable power generating
What's it run off of, Chris?
hydrogen.
So yet again, okay, this is not a diesel powered generator. This is a hydrogen powered generator that kind of goes, it doesn't kind of, it goes hand in hand with this type of a machine because of the way it works, not because it does anything for this machine. But to talk about no emissions, produces water, and charges batteries.
Got it.
I mean, come on.
Cool. Very cool.
And I bet you he's not going to let us open the panels on that one either.
I don't even
Because I'm
start.
sure the technology is similar to that that's of a larger scale. So how long of a runtime does this here have?
You know, Matt, I'm not entirely sure.
All right.
I'm
That's fine.
It looks great though, doesn't it?
Oh,
It's a beautiful
I mean,
thing. Really?
there are so many parts that I could supply you guys for. So it's 50 kW. Again, ran by hydrogen, produces electricity. You can see it there. Hydrogen fuel cell power pack. Well, Chris, we appreciate your time, sir.
Hey, my pleasure.
And I know that you're not the expert on all of it, but I feel as though that was a very good explanation for everyone to understand the benefits of hydrogen when it's not a bomb.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Well, that's a wrap, folks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I think this machine is very, 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 very capable of replacing a lot of things. And as always, like, comment, subscribe.